changes and improvements in the department. Helicopters with thermal imaging systems were in use. A 40 caliber semi-automatic service weapon was being carried.
Like, there's some trends that are still in the
Wow.
I'm originally from New York.
Oh, okay.
Not the city, but Long Island.
Yeah.
But, yeah, two friends
With
that
mobile video reporters, which allow
I was teaching in North Jersey,
Uh-huh.
11 miles from New York City.
Oh, my.
Was at school at 7:30 at night, the kids couldn't be
Yeah.
campus.
Oh, my gosh.
It was crazy.
I'll feel cool.
And that's really, so I've seen them work in that environment.
Yeah, I've been to that one. I've been to Janesville.
I will tell you in a heartbeat, go to the Memorial in New York City. It's emotional, it's very moving, but incredible.
Yeah.
I took he's 21 now, but my son was, I guess he was 12 or 13 when I first took him. And even he could sense, you know. I mean, he was born after the attack.
Yeah.
But, yeah, crazy. That's really nice. I haven't been to one in Detroit, so,
Think so, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, they did a nice job with that one too.
gotta get out there. Absolutely.
Okay, what you're looking at here, this is the part of the Pennsylvania State Police Museum that deals with talking about the training the men and the women go through before becoming troopers. There's a lot to it, becoming a police officer, than just driving cars, motorcycles, flying airplanes, helicopters. This is one of the loop videos they're doing. But yes, to make it to what you see out on the roads protecting and serving the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, they gotta go through one of the most grueling training periods you'll ever see. This here is kind of a sample of some of the uniforms troopers wear. And this is a typical cadet issued uniform. Generally, in a nutshell, there's a lot that's expected out of cadets during their training process. They are expected to maintain levels that academy staff require when it comes to their academics, their personal appearance, issued equipment, etc. And as you can also see here, men and women of the state police have to work hard and train hard to become troopers. This here that you see, cadets are also expected to be studying in their dorm rooms, being in class, performing assigned duties, and keep their issued equipment in their rooms in neat and pristine condition 100% of the time, 0 questions asked. As we move over here, this is a little mock-up of a 1962 Harley Davidson for what I didn't know was the Pennsylvania State Police Rodeo. And this is just some of the pictures of the events that took place back in the day. As we move over here, this is a little model displays of some of the equipment Pennsylvania State Troopers use. We have a Bell 47, a Koala A119, Augusta, 2 of my favorites, Jet Ranger helicopters, plus a couple more Jet Rangers for good measure. Down here, you can actually see how police cars changed from this to this. Down below, this is a breathalyzer. Sometimes when they pull over people that they suspect are intoxicated, this device will take their blood alcohol content, measure it, and if need be, have those people taken in for DUI. But still, this is something to see how police cars changed year after year after year. Over here, this profiles police dogs and diving teams. I could definitely have listed in the description of this video what do police dogs and diving teams do for police departments. We also have a section dedicated to where they talk about being on horses, some of the equipment they use for police horses, and these are their radar guns. This is what they use to keep track of people to make sure that they're not speeding. This section you see here, this is the shade gap. The kid on the afternoon of May 11th, 1966, Peggy Ann Bradnick was kidnapped by William Diller Hollenbach and was held captive for over a week before she was rescued by state police and the FBI in Burnt Cabins, Pennsylvania. This is some of, again, more equipment that they used to go after Mr. Hollenbach. And again, I can definitely contain more information for you folks in the description of this video. This section you see here, this talks about the Camp Hill prison riot. The Camp Hill, it was actually the name of a state correctional institute in Lower Allen Township, Cumberland County, near Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, just outside of Harrisburg. In late October of 1989, a large prison riot broke out. 17 were held hostage, and 14 of the 31 buildings were destroyed.
By 9:30 p.m., inmates broke into a furniture factory on the western end of the prison grounds.
And this video you see here kind of gives you a general idea as far as what took place during the rioting.
At 9:35 p.m., an explosion occurred on the west end of the prison, near the furniture factory where a 250-pound propane tank was located.
Good Lord.
Hundreds of armed state troopers, local police from surrounding counties.
Over here, this is a mock-up of one of the troopers in riot gear.
Many facilities throughout the prison were set afire. Flames erupted, shooting as high as 80 feet into the smoke-filled sky. Firefighters, protected by police, battled the fires. 5 prison guards were taken hostage.
Every one of these you see here, these were weapons that were confiscated from the prisoners. Sorry. And these pictures you see here, these were all taken during the 3-day riot.
The Pennsylvania State Police strategically set up a command post outside the prison walls. The State Police Special Emergency Response Team arrived and entered the main gate to the prison. State Police in riot gear stormed the kitchen area and began taking back control of the prison.
This display that you see here, this talks about the ambush at Blooming Grove, outside the Troop R barracks. At 10:50 p.m., a sniper opened fire with a .308 caliber rifle, killing one trooper, Corporal Brian K. Dixon, and wounding Alex Douglas. Eric Freeman was identified by the police as the only suspect in the case, and he eluded police for several weeks. Marshals eventually captured him at an abandoned airport hangar on October 30th, well over a month after he committed this unprovoked attack on the state police. And he was charged with terrorism, murder, and attempted murder. This is some of the newspaper articles that talked about the ambush at that time. And this was the photo that was taken after they took Mr. Freeman into custody. What you're looking at here, sorry, this is the map that showed where the shooting started and where did he go from there. He was captured at an airstrip near Birchwood Road. Looks like just east-southeast of Mount Pocono. This is their diversity section. A couple of the commissioners that served as commissioner of the Pennsylvania State Police.
The main focus now was in getting the remaining inmates out of the prison yards and back into usable cells.
This is their section dedicated to United Flight 93. And while this looks like an American flag, if you look real closely, every one of these people you see here listed, this was everyone who died at the hands of Al Qaeda on that terrible Tuesday morning. And as I said when I visited here back in June, I can't imagine what it was like to be on any of these hijacked airplanes. Especially true for those on board United 93. This is a steel beam that was donated by New York and New Jersey's Port Authority. This was one of the beams that they used to build the Trade Center. This here looks like these are letters that kids in Shanksville wrote to state troopers that were guarding the site of United 93. These were pictures that were taken at the crash site. Good Lord. And this was the American flag that was flown at the crash site of United 93. Later presented to the federal government in recognition of the state police's dedication and hard work. Over here on this side, this talks about a little more of the equipment that they use in terms of firearms. This tells a little bit about who this memorial is dedicated to. Along with some photos of Corporal Guessford in action. This talks about the ultimate sacrifice that the men and women of the state police give every time they report to duty. This section here that you're looking at, this is the 666 lottery fix. It was here that in April of 1980, Nick Perry, a man who used to be WTAE's lottery host, was the mastermind behind a set that rocked or behind a scandal that absolutely rocked the Pennsylvania lottery to its knees. Every one of the balls that were in the 3 machines, except the numbers 4 and 6, were weighted, meaning that the drawing was almost sure to be a combination of those digits. And on April 24th, 1980, these were the balls that were drawn. The number 666. Nick Perry, with the help of lottery official Ed Plevel, stagehand Fred Lumen, and Joseph Bach, rigged the lottery for $3.5 million. One of the men had injected white latex paint into the balls with this hypodermic needle and used black numbers that were purchased at a store. This meant that 4 and 6 were the most likely numbers that were to be drawn. The 8 possible winning number combinations as they experimented were 444, 666, 464, 646, 466, 644, 664, and 446. Once the plan was in place, the Maragos brothers had placed bets everywhere, including with illegal bookies. Once the lottery was drawn, eyebrows were raised. And these were the mugshots of the men responsible for fixing the Pennsylvania lottery. This is the police report that was written up about what did these men do. And following the 666 fix, this display that you see here were the protocols that they had to put in place to ensure that something like this never happened again. And these were just a sample of the tickets that were used to where if they would have gotten away with this, this would have paid out a ridiculous amount of money. Over here, this is some of the uniforms that state patrol officers used to wear just shortly after the state police were founded. And like I talked about earlier, everything you see here, this is what they used here at the State Police Museum to tell everybody about how there's more to being a trooper than just driving cars, motorcycles, and operating all the equipment that they use to protect and serve the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and their residents. This is more details as far as a other cases the state police have been involved in. Like a union strike in early July of 1975. An anti-war protest at State College. And to all the men and women of the state police, we salute you. What you see here, these were the requirements that it had of people who wanted to join the state police. This section you see here, this talks a little bit about the history of their uniform pieces, including the hat that you see most state troopers wear today. But yes, as we talked about earlier, this is the 666 fix. A scandal that rocked the Pennsylvania lottery to its knees. It was here that on April 24th, 1980, Nick Perry was the host of the Daily Number when the drawing produced 666 for a then record payout of $3.5 million, including 1.18 that went to 8 people, not knowing that the lottery was fixed. It also says too that if this was today's drawing, this would be about $12 million. This just tells a little bit about how was this possible for the lottery to be fixed. This tells a little bit about the aftermath to ensure something like this never happened again. We have more gear from the state police. More remembering of those who gave the ultimate sacrifice and those who received major awards like the State Police Cross, the Commendation Medal, the Purple Heart, and the Medal of Honor. This is a memorial for the ultimate case of like father, like son. But yes, this in a nutshell looks like this concludes our visit to the Pennsylvania State Police Museum. And before we go, this tells a little bit about when the state police was founded. I will definitely have more in the description of this video to tell you a little more. Thank you for watching. And right over here, this is the Wall of Honor. It's a listing of every Pennsylvania State Trooper who died in the line of duty. Done to protect and serve the Commonwealth. We salute you.